Hello and welcome to the MineConomy installation and setup tutorial. I'm Mjolnir Commando, manager of MineConomy, and I will start by showing you how to download the plugin. So where we want to go is dev.bukkit.org/server-mods/MineConomy. This is the plugin download, plugin overview page, and what we want to do is we want to download by clicking this link and then clicking download. Keep, and now we're ready to install it. So to install MineConomy, what you want to do is you want to create a server. I am assuming that you already have one, and navigate to your plugins folder. In here I just have some basic plugins such as Essentials, Permissions X, and Vault. None of these are required for MineConomy. Go to the folder in which you downloaded the MineConomy jar, and then just simply drag it to the plugins folder, and then run your server. The server will automatically create every single one of the files that MineConomy needs, and then we can just stop the server. And heading back to here, we can start on the actual setup. So to set up MineConomy, there are several configuration files in the MineConomy folder. The first two are the accounts and banks.yml. Those two you shouldn't edit because they're MineConomy save files. Skipping over these two for now, we have the readme.txt, which you should always look at if you have a question in this tutorial. In this lang folder, we have the language file and the log file. If you speak a different language than English, you can go to the downloads page of the MineConomy dev bucket page and then download translated files. Onto the currencies YML. This is a file which holds the default currencies for MineConomy. The way these work, and be sure to use spaces here, is there's a name of your currency. I'm just going to use dollars. And then we use 4 more spaces here. And we do a value, and I'm just going to do a base value of 1.0. So we're using tabs of 3, and we want to do default set to true. Now what this does is it creates a new currency named dollars, and it makes its value at 1.0, and it sets the default to true. If we want to have another currency for, say, another faction on our server, we can do yen, and then we can make its value 0.1. So 1 yen will be worth 1/10 of a dollar, and $1 will be worth 10 yen. And we'll set default to false. So this creates 2 currencies which will be valid in MineConomy. Now on to the physical currencies. What we can do is, using the same formatting, is do a name, let's say gold. Let's say stone, because that's very common. And then just like we did above, we'll do value, and we'll say that each piece of stone is worth $1. And then we have this thing called ID, and this is the ID of the currency. And since stone is an ID of 1 in Minecraft, we'll put that. And remember, this is case sensitive, so if you put stone with capital S, that's different than stone with a lowercase s. So we're going to leave that lowercase for now. And then there's another cool feature that MineConomy offers, and that's experience as a physical currency. So what we can do is we'll just name this EXP, keep it nice and short, and we'll make its value 10. So it will be worth $10 or 100 yen. And we'll put its ID as the special ID called up here, _exp. And then if we save that, MineConomy should parse it correctly. So just to make sure, let's go back and launch our server. No errors were thrown, and it says that the currency file successfully loaded. So let's go ahead and stop the server and navigate back to our MineConomy folder, and then start on the config file. This is the basic MineConomy configuration, and let's go through all the nodes right now. This starting balance is what all accounts will start out with, and it will use the default currency. So if I were to set this to, let's say 10, then each account that is created on the server will have exactly $10 on it. Not 10 yen, $10, because dollars was our default currency. And then we have a maximum debt. This is an absolute value, so it shouldn't matter if you put negative or positive. We'll just keep it positive for now. So the max debt you can go into is $100. So the maximum amount of debt you can have, or the maximum balance, is negative 100. Let's go ahead and display the GUI for now, because it is a cool feature and we will be going into detail on it in a future tutorial. We'll leave the log priority as it is. The log priority is a number which says what is the highest priority that a log will be. So in MineConomy logs there is info, important, very important, and dev, and this can all change. Currently, MineConomy uses interest and tax amounts in the config file. For an interest amount, we can say 10, and we can put an interval. So we can say 0 seconds or 0 minutes, but let's say 3 minutes. And there are two different modes. We can do fixed, so every 3 minutes, MineConomy will give each player on the server 10 of the default currency. And in tax, we can do the same thing. We can do 10, and we'll go ahead and do every 6 minutes. And we'll do a %. So this will take 10% of every player's balance every 6 minutes. Now for our database. We'll go into that in a further tutorial, so we'll just leave it as it is. For our language, we've chosen English, and this must correspond to the ending of your lang.yml. This autosave interval is done in seconds for now, but we could always change it to be further. This means that every 3600 seconds, MineConomy will autosave all of its files. Economy compatibility mode, we'll leave it false right now because we're not converting from MineConomy, and we'll set no migration mode. We'll use these in a further later tutorial. So let's go ahead and save that. And if we close the window and go ahead and launch our server now. As you can see, it started up correctly, and here's our GUI. And there's our interest to the accounts and our autosave. So let's go ahead and stop our server. And this concludes the MineConomy installation and setup tutorial.